Welcome back to the podcast, and you're in the right spot. We're here to break down the UFC Fight Night. Derrick Lewis going up against Alexei Oleinik. We have two heavyweight main events back-to-back weeks. We have this one, and then we have UFC 252, where you have Daniel Cormier on his swan song going up against Stipe Miocic. That is the trilogy. We will see who is going to wind up victorious in that 3-fight series. And now we have Derrick Lewis against Alexei Oleinik. And we're going to break down this card. You're going to get my best bets. You're going to get my predictions, my breakdowns on this entire card that is currently at 12 fights. It was 11. They added a fight, Kevin Holland against Joaquin Buckley. Who's, just filling in right now. And now we're going to start off with the prelims, okay? The whole video, I didn't have time to do a breakdown of each prelim and main card, so we're just going to do one whole video. Weigh-ins are currently going on right now. So my finalized picks are going to be on the channel at Twitter at MessNetHSD and at Instagram at MessNetHSD. Tomorrow, just in case anything crazy happens, I'll be there to back you guys up. So let's hop into this prelims. We have Alkazi going up against Erwin Rivera. Alkazi making his UFC debut, mainly a grappler. Erwin Rivera, the Beast. He had his previous fight going up against Giga Chikadze. If you just go see right here, they're around the same age, around the same height. Erwin's a little bit tinier, about 2 inches. In that fight against Giga Chikadze, it was a telltale sign that he was clearly outclassed in every single round. Giga Chikadze is a huge kickboxer, and he was toying with him in each and every round. It was just more of a showcase of what Giga Chikadze has in his arsenal, and just slapping him around with kicks and punches and everything. Rivera can take a punch, and can take a knee, he can take a kick. That was his main purpose in that fight. Alkazi, in his debut going up against this guy, fought at let me see, is it Iran? No, he fought in Brave CF. And like I say, he's mainly a grappler, but is also a 2-time Kung Fu champion. He's a low-output fighter. He looks for his opponents to come to him first so he can counter and shoot for a takedown. I've seen enough from this guy in the tape, the Royal Fighter. I think that he can handle Erwin Rivera pretty easily. Like I said, he didn't show me much. He has some stand-up, but the grappling in this Apex in Las Vegas is going to be huge on me in most of these fights. Since it's a smaller cage, there's not many places to run, and these elite grapplers are going to, take advantage of this opportunity. And I got early upset at Alkazi in this fight. I think, let's see what price we get him at. We're going to check over here in UFC on DraftKings Sportsbook. You got him as underdog. That's the first fight. Erwin could surprise you, but I think Kazi can win this fight. It's definitely a dog or pass situation. I'm not trusting Erwin Rivera at all. And we're going to move on in this card. We have our second fight, Youssef Zalal going up against Peter Barrett. Right down here, number 2. And we've seen Youssef Zalal. All right, we know what to expect from him. Young prospect, 23 years old, 10 years younger than Peter Barrett, Slippery Pete. I don't know why you choose that corny name. Zalal has the height advantage and the 2-inch reach advantage. Zalal, Muay Thai striker, very, very dynamic. We've seen him before, very dynamic Muay Thai striker. Combinations with flurries, great takedown defense. We've seen him against Jordan Griffin. That was a fight that a lot of people were doubting him on, and they thought that Jordan Griffin can, get his late submission that he does on every fight. But no, the Moroccan Devil came through and really outclassed him in each and every way. On feet, clearly he had him. And in the takedown defense, where Jordan Griffin thought he had his bread and butter, Yusuf Salau stuffed at many occasions. Peter Barrett is a southpaw, loves to wrestle, uses foot stomps on his opponents against the cage, very susceptible to submissions himself. So this is a guy, I believe he's making his debut. Let me just double check that. If we check here, yeah, contender, Cage Titans. Yeah, he's making his debut. He's losing to lower competition, and now he has to go up against a really, really dynamic striker in Yusuf Salau. This is clear cut. One of my locks, Yusuf Salau over Peter Barrett, currently at minus 350. Let's see if it changes. Now it's at minus 480. I don't see a problem with that. It's the right call. You just have to pay for it. So let's just put that in your parlay and add on to it. Okay. Next fight, we have Justin James, man, versus Gavin Tucker. These two guys both were late assigned fighters and got their win. That's how they got their start in the UFC. The most recent Justin James Guitar Hero, you saw him against Frank Camacho and put him to sleep with a mean right hand. About the same height, about the same reach, 1.5 for Justin James. Justin James has dynamite in his hands. We've seen it, like I said, against Frank Camacho, former wrestler in college. So he should be ready for Tucker's takedowns. Tucker mainly decent stand-up, will utilize leg kicks to keep distance, shoot for takedowns well, and he likes to just rinse and repeat. All right, low output fighter, and he has some gas tank issues. So if Justin James can stuff his takedowns, this is a former wrestler right here, and keep this fight on the feet as a stand-up, then Justin James can definitely put out the governor and Gavin Tucker, and I see that happening. And we got another underdog going on in this bout, and I think it's still the same right there. Justin James at plus 112 on DraftKings. Probably see that this fight going as a knockout. Yusuf Salau probably go to the distance, and that first one, Erwin Rivera versus Alkazi, probably go to distance as well. So we're gonna hop into the next fight. I really like Justin James. Underrated. He came onto the scene. Gavin Tucker has been on and off, and fought lesser competition. So I'm on the Justin James side in this. Next fight, we have Andrew Sanchez going against Wellington Turman. This is a middleweight bout. Andrew Sanchez is an underdog and the older fighter at 8 years older than Wellington, the prodigy Turman. They're about the same height, but Andrew Sanchez has a 4-inch reach. Andrew Sanchez doesn't have good stand-up at all. Was a national champion in wrestling. He's using big kicks and punches just to set up the takedown and has big cardio problems, okay? Wellington Turman, on the other, he's a smothering type of wrestler. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Knees in the clinch, better boxing than Sanchez, and makes his opponents think. I like the diversity that Wellington Turman shows on the stand-up. You don't know if he's going with a punch, and he does nice leg feints, similar to like a Darren Till, but not the stance, but just the feints are there. That's just a worrisome thing to have when you're fighting an opponent. And Andrew Sanchez is just a one-way fighter, and I think Wellington Turman, with the jiu-jitsu in his back pocket and the fact that he's a wrestler and grappler as well, he can handle Andrew Sanchez. Andrew Sanchez, up and down career, if we see right here, fighting at TriStar, lost to Marvin Vettori, and I love Marvin Vettori. Beat Barry Alt, who's okay, and then beat Marcus Perez, who got his fight canceled last card. But I think Wellington Turman can turn it around. Turman had a good win in his last fight going up against Marcus Perez, who they have the same common opponent. Lost to Carl Robertson in his UFC debut, but I think this is going to be his second win in the UFC, okay, against Andrew Sanchez. This is going to be a grappler versus grappler match. It's going to be very good to see, and we'll see who's the better wrestler. Next fight, we have Nasrat Hakparas going up against Alex Munoz, and this one currently 3-2, coming out of TriStar, which is the great George St. Pierre's camp. Very good striking, fills out his opponents, very calculated, patient, and powerful right hand. And he's been compared to Kelvin Gastelum, and that's my boy over there to the left, Nasrat. This is an up-and-coming prospect, highly touted, 24 years old, nice and young. Had a loss. He got a little bit of wake-up call, just a little bit of wake-up call against Drew Dober. But has some solid wins against Marchikazi. We know him. Joaquin Silva, he put him to sleep. That was a good fight as well. And Alex Munoz on the other side. This is his UFC debut, 6-0, not that much experience. And you're going up against a prospect that, is somewhat of a veteran in the UFC game. Dana White likes this guy, wants to promote him, and is putting him up against a pretty easy, decently well-rounded kickboxing fighter. He likes to go for takedown, but Nasrat, he can handle that, no problem at all. We'll stuff that, especially with the competition that he's faced. Alex Munoz in his debut, it's not going to be a pretty one. This was pretty much a setup. And we're going with Nasrat, clear cut. That's one of my favorite ones as well. So I really, really like Zalal, and I really, really like Nasrat to handle business in his fight. And Nasrat is clear cut favorite at -240. You could put that in your parlays as well, and he could get a knockout. I really think he could get a knockout. He could. He has that. He definitely has that deadly power too. Next fight, we're going into this one's gonna be pretty quick. We're going into Kevin Holland, who was supposed to fight Trevin Giles last card, but Trevin Giles right before the fight he fainted. He just straight fainted. Fight was canceled. Kevin Holland was trying to fight someone else on the same day. That didn't happen. So they quickly made this decision. We already know how talented Kevin Holland is. Dangerous man. Has a well-rounded game. Power in his hands. Good at wrestling. Joaquin Buckley coming in as a fill-in. I watched this tape. Nothing impressed about at all. And this is going to be a clear-cut win for Kevin Holland. And we're moving on. Tim Means going up against Laureano Starpoli. The Dirty Bird Means. Don't know why you call yourself that. Is the older fighter at 36 years old. Welterweight fight. 6'2 against 6'1. And the reach advantage is on Tim Means' side. Tim Means is a veteran in the UFC game. Has decent kickboxing. Suspect chin. He's either going to win by stoppage or lose by decision. And that's pretty much been his story all his career. Laureano Starpoli on the other side. Currently 2-1 in the UFC. The one loss to Muslim Salikov, who was the Sultan of Kung Fu. And that is that's a loss. Granted, cool, you lost to Muslim Salikov, is granted. That dude is dangerous. Absolutely dangerous with spinning back kicks. Just every type of spinning attack he has in his arsenal. Super, super dangerous, I understand. And as you saw, Muslim Salikov just beat Zaleski dos Santos. Laureano has very good head movement, crisp kickboxing. He's got to watch out when he throws his overhand rights. He leaves himself exposed sometimes with his chin. Definitely susceptible to uppercuts and knees up the middle, but those are things that Tim Means doesn't really do. And I think Laureano Starpoli is just a more dangerous fighter. And let me see who was his fights. Let me see. Had 2-1 because we know he lost to Muslim Salikov, and then everyone beats Thiago Alves, and then Hector Aldana as his debut. That's all right. 10 means is another add to the notch. You'll be 10-2. All right. So we're going with Starpoli in that fight. Starpoli is the favorite. Okay, we got another favorite right there. And just more talented. 10 means been there, done that. Aging fighter. And that's not for every situation, but at least Starpoli has some experience in the UFC where he can handle this gate. No, he's not even a gatekeeper. 10 means it's not good. Next one, we have Beneil Dariush going against Scott Holtzman. This guy's dangerous. This is one of my locks. I feel confident about Vicente Luque last week. I feel very, 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 very confident about Beneil Dariush. This dude has ground game, mainly a grappler, has stand-up, has hands, everything. On a 4-win fight streak currently right now. We'll see these wins really quick. Definitely has the talent to be top 10 in this lightweight division. And he has 4 wins, Jakar Close, and Jakar Close never gets knocked out. Frank Camacho, rear naked choke. Look at this dynamic. Armbar against Drew Dober, who's very, very solid. Beat Thiago by decision. This man. This man is a problem. Scott Holtzman on the other end. Decent stand-up. But Holtzman, the main goal is to take it to the ground. And Dariush is that you don't want to take him to the ground. So hot sauce. I don't know what you're doing, but your game plan, you're going to need to switch it up. And then if you stand up, Dariush is going to put you to sleep. So you beat Jim Miller. That's cool. You had some okay wins against low-level competition. But when you fought someone actually good like Josh Emmett, you had a problem. Drew Dober, you had a problem. So you get the point here. Dariush is beating this type of competition night in and night out. And Scott Holtzman's not. Okay, we're moving on to the next fight. Like I said, Dariush is one of my locks. Next, we have a women's bout. I think there's only one women's bout in this whole card. And it is between... Oh, wait. Before we get that, Dariush is minus 190. That's a great price. That's kind of cheap. He should be coming in a little bit higher than that. I'll put a lot of money on him. Next fight, like I said, we have Yana Kunitskaya going against Jujila Stolarenko. I tried. I did a little accent and everything. All right. Stolarenko is having her UFC debut. And Yana Kunitska is a little bit of a UFC veteran in that weight class. And I was trying to understand when you're looking at all her fights, how did you get a fight against Cyborg as your first fight? As you can see right here, this big loss. I don't understand how you fight the champion in your first fight in the UFC. That's not making any sense. And in Invicta, you were the champion over there, but you're not good at all. You throw one punch and move out. You're in and out. You throw a leg kick and you're out. Your striking is okay. You like to smother people and grapple them. But you can't take a punch. You really can't. If someone's charging at you and really coming at you with not even all they got, just hitting you with flurries, in the fight against Aspen Ladd, that was embarrassing. She whipped you every single round and then put you out. And I watched tape on Jujila Stolarenko in Invicta, and she's going to do the same thing. Kunitskaya, I don't know why. She is I think she is favored. Let me see. Yeah, she's favored by minus 250. I think that's crazy. I think the money should be on Stolarenko. This is a dog or pass situation. From the tape that I saw, I didn't see anything that I liked out of Yana. Unless you let you want your opponents just to stand there and take your kicks and punches and not fight back. If you get a girl that's gonna charge you and really pressure you, like I seen that at Jojila, yeah, and I seen that at Aspen Ladd, yeah. And then I seen that at Chris Cyborg after you tried to like hold her against the cage. Once y'all two chicks stood in front of each other and y'all started throwing hands, it was night, and rather quickly too. Like I said, yeah, you lost to Cyborg in that first round. Yeah, we're going with the underdog in this. I don't know why she's favorited. I guess it's just a women's fight, but you could definitely take advantage of that. And since it's her debut, people are just going to pick the other chick, but I think that's wrong. Next fight, we have Darren Stewart going up against Maki Patola. Darren Stewart has been in and out of the UFC, mainly a striker, very powerful, has lethal knees as well. They're about the same height and about have the same reach. Maki Patola, on the other hand, right here, coconut bombs is what they call him, is more well-rounded. This could be a fight of the night because someone is going down. Someone's getting knocked out in this one. I like the fresh blood in this division, so I'm leaning more towards Maki Patola. Like I said, Darren Stewart's been there, done that. Patola had a nice win, bounced back against Charles Berg. Nice knockout right there. So he's currently 1-1. And Darren Stewart, like I said, he's been here in the UFC for a little. Up and down since when? Let's see, 2000. I think it's before that. No, so since 2017. You come in the UFC and lose 3 in a row. You should have been booted. And then you beat Eric Spicely, who's a nobody. You have a similar win with Charles Bird. You got your butt kicked by Edmund Shabazian. Darren Wynn is like the shortest fighter in the weight class, and of course you should have won that. Then you go back to Cage Warriors and lose. You lose to lesser competition. Darren Stewart. They need somebody new, bro. Maki Patola, I've seen the potential that he has in that last fight against Charles Bird, and I'm going with the new kid on the block. All right. Next fight. This is co-main event? We're hopping in. This is the veteran Chris Weidman, former champion, against Omari Akhmedov. Just going through. Weidman bumping back down to the middleweight division. So he was at 205, tried to restart his career there because he's 36 years old and thought he can be a heavyweight. Or light heavyweight, and then now he's coming back down where he was before. But these dudes are on another level. They're quicker. This not 2015. It's not. I'm sorry. 6'2" against 6 feet, and then you have Chris Weidman has the 5-inch reach advantage. He's a very, very good wrestler. He's known for that, but there's holes in his game. And as you can see, he's lost 4 of his last 5 fights, or 4 of his last 6 fights. Dominic Reyes, Sakura Souza beat Kelvin Gastelum. Lost after loss. And then when you beat Anderson Silva, because he was playing around. Like, you really didn't win that. And then you beat Anderson Silva again because when he kicked you, he broke his leg. So you really didn't beat him that time. And then Machida was past his prime, Victor Belfort past his prime, and then we get into the newer years, and you're just getting your butt kicked every single fight. Okay? And Omari Akhmedov is no joke. The Wolverine is no joke at all. This dude is super, super dangerous, very well-rounded, better stand-up, clearly, than Weidman. 3-fight win streak. You have to watch out for his takedowns, and his takedown defense, which is really good. And I think he's going to take down Chris Weidman in this fight. He beat Ian Heinisch, Zach Cummings, and Tim Boetsch in the last 3. Had a draw with Marvin Vettori, who's very, very solid. I like him a lot. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, we know the dynamite in his hands. He beat him. But this dude, this Dagestani wrestler, he has it in his back pocket. So if you want to take him to that world, Chris Weidman, it's not going to look good. it's not going to look good. And you're the aging fighter, and you're way past your prime. And you try to restart in another weight class, got your butt kicked, came back. It's going to be the same result. I'm going with the Dagestani fighter who has great hands and has that wrestling in his back pocket. We're going with the underdog just by a little bit, right? Yeah, we're going with the underdog at plus 115 in Amari Magnomov. And you need to retire. It's time to retire, okay? Now, we've made it to the main event of the fight. Derrick Lewis going against Aleksei Oleinik. Aleksei Oleinik's record is absolutely insane. 59 wins, 13 losses. Going up against the Black Beast and Derrick Lewis at 23-7. Lewis is currently the favorite right now. Aleksei Oleinik is the way older fighter at 43. Derrick Lewis has the opportunity to bump himself up in the heavyweight division at 35 years old. The height advantage going to Lewis and the reach advantage going to Aleksei Oleinik. Aleksei Oleinik is a very slow and plodding fighter. That's why they call him boa constrictor. Once he gets you in his grasp, he's gonna suck the life out of you. But that's the key. He's going to have to get the job done in the first round and a half. The first 2 rounds, he's gonna have to try to get Derrick Lewis on the ground. And even if he gets Derrick Lewis on the ground, I think Derrick Lewis can survive well enough to get it back to the feet. And we've seen it time and time again where Aleksei Oleinik is getting knocked out by dudes with power, like Walt Harris, Alistair Overeem. The Gordon Ryan fight is a grappling bout, so that doesn't count. Curtis Blades. And then as you can see, Derrick Lewis has so many fights where he looks like he's down and out. And in that 3rd round, he's coming with that knockout power. You never let this dude. It's never over. It's never over for him. Volkov in the 3rd round. Marcin Tybura in the 3rd round. He's fought Daniel Cormier. He's fought Junior Dos Santos. He's fought top competition. Derrick Lewis can handle a wrestler. I think at the capabilities of Aleksei Oleinik, I think, like I said, he can survive this. And I'm validating that minus. What is it at? It's at minus 200. Minus 200 at Derrick Lewis. I think he can survive it and put out Aleksei Oleinik, this old dusty man. Put him out of his misery. Okay? And that's what we're going with. Just a quick overview of the fight night card. We got Ali Alkazi. We got Yusuf Salau. We got Justin James. We got Wellington Turman to be the better wrestler. We got Nasrat in a nice little setup going up against this newcomer. We got Kevin Holland going up against another newcomer. We got Star Poli against the old man Tim Means. Beneil Dariush, who's an uprising star at lightweight. We got Julija Starlarenko in her debut to beat Yana very easily. Yana, you suck. Maki Patola is going to be that new blood in the middleweight division. Omar Magnomov is doing a nice little funeral for Chris Weidman. And Derrick Lewis is going to punish Aleksei Oleinik. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNessJSD. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend. Peace out.